Guys? I might have gotten spoiled. Yes, the final Blu-ray haul of 2023 is usually the biggest, not just because of Christmas, but my birthday came around in December, and there's a lot of movies that we got to go through this month. And it's a humongous hodgepodge of movies in front of me. Some from the olden days, some that I've never seen before, along with a bunch of new releases that I have reviewed on the channel, and I'll leave links to all of those down in the description box below. If you're new, if you love discussing physical media, all things movies and entertainment, this is a great channel to become a part of. Subscribe today, hit that thumbs up as well. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers and counting. You guys freaking rule. But let's dig right into it. No particular order. Actually, this first stack, this is basically the parental education section. These are movies that my parents think I'm either not familiar with much at all or I've just never seen before. These are all movies that they've loved, and they wanted to add it to what they call the blockbuster behind me. So Arthur 1 and Arthur 2 is up first. Yeah, this was a mom choice, and I've heard that these movies are very stupid. And she would be the first one to tell you guys that these are very stupid movies, but she cannot help but laugh her head off. And I can't wait to laugh my head off with her. You got Dudley Moore, you got Liza Minnelli. Buddy Yorkin directed this one. I don't think I've seen any of his works. Ha! Speaking of stupid, this is a dad pick, Flash Gordon. Yeah. I don't really know what else you want me to say on this one. Now, because my mom is a huge Cher fan, we had to add 2 Cher acting titles to the collection with Mask. Not to be confused with the Jim Carrey Mask, of course. But also you have Moonstruck, the movie that I guess won Cher an acting Oscar back then. And she stars in this one with Nicolas Cage. Like, how did I not know this movie existed? I can't wait to watch this one especially. Up next is My Bodyguard, another movie that I've never heard of before. You have Matt Dillon in here from The Outsiders. Chris Makepeace, an older Chris Makepeace, stars in this. You might remember Chris Makepeace as Rudy from Meatballs. You don't know Meatballs either? Well, that just doesn't matter. Yeah, here's another mom pick. You have Night Shift starring Henry Winkler, as well as Michael Keaton in his Mr. Mom era. And I've been told that this is a hilarious movie, and it looks really funny. I can't wait to finally check it out. Speaking of hilarious, speaking of classics, speaking of what the heck, Zack, you've never seen this movie before? I hate to admit it, I've never seen The Birdcage, guys. This is one of the quintessential Robin Williams performances from what I'm being told. Nathan Lane is in this movie. I mean, Gene Hackman, Diane West, like, this is just a stacked lineup here. And I thought for the longest time that this was a Terry Gilliam release, but it's not. It's Mike Nichols. I've heard it was very funny. I know it's a classic for a lot of people. I'm finally gonna watch it. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, it's John Travolta, man. No time to talk. Saturday Night Fever. Yeah. You can tell. You can certainly tell this is a mom selection. John Travolta was her man. And last but not least, in this parental education section, is a movie I've seen before, believe it or not, 16 Candles. It's a movie I've wanted to add to the collection for a while, and it's a title that I've kept putting off and putting off and putting off. My parents decided to put it in for me. Did this come out before The Breakfast Club? I'm not entirely sure, but you have Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall both making appearances in here. Another John Hughes one to add to the collection. Okay, now we get into the new releases. All of these I've reviewed on the channel. Once again, I'll leave links to those solo reviews down in the description. First in the pile is a pretty polarizing one for some people, but I really enjoyed it. Five Nights at Freddy's on 4K. As someone who just started playing the games, I was very impressed that this movie was as faithful to the source material as it actually was. Josh Hutcherson, now at 31 years old, playing our hero, it's crazy. Josh Hutcherson is one of those actors I grew up with. And now here he is taking on big roles in video game movies. I can't wait for a sequel. Speaking of sequels and speaking of polarizing, you have Dial of Destiny on 4K. Now, I am willing to hold my hand up and admit that this is not as great of a movie as I wanted it to be. Some people have gone outright and said this is the worst movie of the year. It's so freaking disappointing. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it's one of the worst movies of the year. I definitely had a lot of fun with it. And considering Harrison Ford is 81 years old, I am willing to give CGI and green screen a pass because of that. Because Harrison Ford cannot possibly pull off all those practical stunts that he used to. I mean, who else do you have to play Indiana Jones? Phoebe Waller-Bridge is also in here. Mads Mikkelsen playing a great villain. I don't know. I liked this one more than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Come at me. Look, if you had one shot to sit on your lazy butt and watch all the TV you ever wanted, weird. Yeah, I'm so happy that this got a physical media release, because this is one of, if not the greatest performance of Daniel Radcliffe's career. Some people might look at this movie and call it a sham of a musical person biopic. Have you never listened to Weird Al's music before? This is supposed to be a parody of a musical person biopic. If you didn't get that joke, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, up next is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the best TMNT movie we've gotten since that original trilogy from back in the day. This one was so freaking fun. And the animation style, you're getting that Spider-Verse style starting to seep into a lot more of these animations. I love that these kids are actually voiced by real kids. Seth Rogen and John Cena in this one as Bebop and Rocksteady. Like, you can't imagine more perfect casting than that. Speaking of a stacked supporting cast, you have Dumb Money. One of, if not the most underrated movie I've seen in 2023. Again, there's Seth Rogen popping up, proving that he can do drama. Sebastian Stan, Nick Offerman, Vincent D'Onofrio, America Ferrera, Shailene Woodley, Pete Davidson putting in a good performance. And of course, right at the bottom playing Roaring Kitty is Paul Dano, who's continuing to pick some fantastic projects. And for a movie that's all centered around stockholding and finances, this movie made me care enough about a topic I'm not overly interested in. Dare I say, I'm invested in this. Yeah, that was a bad joke. Moving on to the next one. On Criterion, I'm so happy this is getting a Criterion release. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. My favorite animated movie from 2022. This one, like, this gave me a Pinocchio that I've been wanting for a long time. And with Del Toro's stop-motion style animation, the way Pinocchio's nose just continues to grow like a gigantic oak tree. Geppetto being a sad, drunk excuse for a human being. Like, this stuff got dark, guys. And it's the kind of Pinocchio I've been looking for a while. Last but not least, in the same vein as WandaVision, in the same vein as Low-Key getting steelbooks, The Mandalorian, Seasons 1 and Season 2. Yeah, Season 2 I think is superior in the grand scheme of things. I think I had more fun watching Season 2. But in terms of streaming and in terms of establishing Disney Plus as the juggernaut that it stands as right now, there's nothing quite like this first season. And people were so into that first season. I was into that first season. I was wanting to see more out of this, like, right away. And it's hard to argue, but this kind of made Pedro Pascal a superstar. And it also made Baby Grogu a superstar. No, not Baby Yoda. That is not freaking Yoda. Do not come at me in the comments and try and tell me that is Yoda. Because if it were Yoda, it probably would have been like a 1,500-year-old Frank Oz voicing it. What is up with you people? Calming down, but that is the entire haul. That is how every single spine will look on your shelf. I'm not going to tilt it because there's so goddamn many. But guys, I hope you're having a great start to your new year. Look out for some more great content hitting this channel in 2024. And you don't want to miss another new upload. So do consider subscribing today and tap on that thumbs up as well. Just one last reminder, that would be a huge help. And stay tuned, of course, for more videos very soon. Y'all are the best, guys. So with all that being said, Happy New Year. Commence that back talk.